Okay, let's talk responses. First thing is I want to make sure I'm really clear that no matter what happens on a Google form, if you've assigned it in Classroom, it's not going to trigger this area here. If they go to the form and answer something, it does not turn it in for them. If a student does press turn in, that's not going to create. So just like we said, if the student does say it's turned in, that does not necessarily mean they did anything in the form. So let's go back to Drive. I've got my form. I made it. It's in my forms folder. So I'm ready to kind of get the responses going. One, if a response comes in, it will automatically make the spreadsheet. But I like to press create spreadsheet right off the get-go. What it'll do is it'll say, I'm going to create a spreadsheet. Hi, I'm Form 2. It's going to push my responses into that spreadsheet. And you might say, okay, well, where is this spreadsheet located? Wherever your form was, that's where your spreadsheet will go. That's why, like I said, I strongly recommend making your own folder so that everything is rooted into that folder. Now, let's look at our other options here real quick. Accepting responses or not. If you are accepting responses, click that. If you're not, like let's say it's the end of the quarter or the end of the week or whatever it is, and you want to just have not accepting responses, you can even put a note, please contact me if you want to complete this form. If you're allowing redos or something, you can turn it back on and turn it back off whenever you want. These three dots, you can get email notifications for new responses. I strongly recommend you make a choice on that, because if you do check that, you could potentially get a ton of email. Selecting response destination, if you want to change where the responses are going, you can click this and check a different spreadsheet. If you want to break the link between the spreadsheet you currently have and create a new one, you could press that. If you want to download the responses into a CSV file, you can do that. Or like if it's next year and you're ready to kind of clean the slate, you can delete all responses. Now, when I delete all responses, I actually unlink the form and clear out the form here, but that's a whole nother story. And if you get to that point, you could ask me because I probably do that in a way that is a little more complex than it needs to be. But suffice it to say that when it's accepting responses, all the responses will flow to this spreadsheet. So we got to get a response in there. So I'm just going to go in and put some answers in so we can see one. So student answered that. Now we have responses. In the form, I can see a summary, meaning it breaks down each question, who answered it right, wrong, or indifferent. I can also go to each question individually and break that down, or I can go to the individual. And when I go to the individual, what's kind of cool is right here, you'll see a spot where you can thumb through each person. So as you're grading, you can easily flip through here, and what you need to do, and the only thing you really need to do, is go in and grade any extended responses. So if I'm like, look, that's 2 points, I could add individual feedback on any question I want. And if I give them a save, they got 3 out of 6 points. If I release the score from the individual, or if I release the score here, it will send an email to them and they will know what their score is and get any other information they want or you want them to have. And that is the responses tab.